Hello learners of Postgraduate Diploma in Environmental and Occupational Health. The course is MEVE 001 and the title is Environmental Impact Assessment for Environmental Health. The topic for today is SEA, Economic Impact Analysis. In this topic, we will be studying about what are the economic impacts of any activity. What happens when we lay down a project or we begin any development activity? Does it affect the economic patterns? Does it affect the economic activity of the people who are working on that project and also on the people who are living nearby those areas? So beginning with it, let us see first of all briefly what is environmental impact assessment. You must have been studied about EIA, you must be knowing. So we can say that it is a process of evaluating the likely environmental impacts of proposed development activity which takes into account interrelated socio-economic, cultural and human health impacts. It is imperative to analyze all sorts of impacts which occur because of any development activity. When we propose any activity, any plan, any project, any policy, it does bring with it lot of consequences. There are impacts on the people who have been living. There are impacts on the natural world, the environment, the society, the type of the governance, the institutions, the legal and the regulatory framework. There are so much of the things which happen when any new setup is being planned at any place. So most importantly are the economic impacts. We must know, we must be able to understand that what are the economic impacts which occur in that region. In this context, we must understand the term what is strategic environmental assessment, which is known as SEA. SEA, that is strategic environmental assessment, aims to mainstream environmental issues into economic development by adopting the principles of green economy for decision making in project. Now, the terms like we have seen that in the past how development activity has been unsustainable. Today we are witnessing the problems of environmental pollution and degradation of all sorts, whatever we are seeing all around. It is all because of unplanned development which has taken place in the past. So SEA, that is strategic environmental assessment, says that we must include the principles of green economy in our development plans. So what is a green economy? Green economy is carbon neutral, resource intensive economy, which sees that because of any activity there should not be or there should be minimum carbon emissions taking place. And there are certain principles of green economy. The well-being principle, that the health and well-being of the people should not be compromised at any cost. Then there is a principle of justice. The economic development should not be such that it brings inequality in the society, that there is a divide between the rich and the poor. So that is something, and not only this, there should not be any distinction between and within generations. Then there is a principle of planetary boundaries. We must understand our limitations of the natural capital which we have on our planet. There is a principle of efficiency and sufficiency, which means sustainable consumption, sustainable production. All these things are very important, and the last principle of green economy is governance, good governance particularly. That means it aims to strengthen our rules, our institutions, our governing bodies, So when we talk about strategic environmental assessment, particularly, we must see that all these principles of green economy are taken into consideration when we do our development activity, when we are planning any development activity. So what is economic impact assessment? Economic impact assessment means assessment of the impact of a project on the wider economy, which can be direct, indirect, induced or fiscal. Students, please understand this, that this does not mean particularly on an individual level. Economic impact assessment means that we have to assess that this development activity, how it is going to impact the economy on a wider scale, on the wider economy, how the region's economy will be affected, how the state's economy will be affected, and what will be the likely consequences of this project, maybe in terms of the direct impacts, indirect impacts, induced impacts or fiscal impacts. Will there be any? So because this type of exercise is very essential, because we are investing a lot of capital, lot of money in the development activities, and after that if we find that it has not led to any kind of economic development, it is going to be a futile exercise. So what are the economic impacts? And they are actually the effects on the level of economic activity. What is the revenue generating source in that region at present? Will this dam bring with it that much of electricity that people in the nearby villages will be able to water their fields properly? Will it generate electricity that there will be electricity in the homes of the people? Will this highway connect major cities so that people can move out and have their jobs and employment? So these are some of the answers which we must know before beginning of this activity. And this has been ascertained, they are different from the individual user benefits of a particular facility or service. Say for example, if we plan to set up any airport, we are not concerned with how the individual user will be benefited by this facility or by this amenity. But on a wider scale, larger scale, we see that bringing in airport in this region will bring in the economic development of the region as a whole. So these are, we have to understand that economic impact doesn't relate to any one user or any individual, but it relates to the impact of the economic development on a larger scale or that whole region. And economic impacts also lead to fiscal impacts. Government expenditures, government tax regimes, government revenue collection, all these factors are impacted by these economic effects which are brought about by these development activities. So many a times it has also been seen that these economic impacts lead to fiscal impacts, the changes in the tax patterns laid down by the government. What are the objectives of economic impact analysis? To estimate the economic impact of projects, events and policies, to know that what will be the impact, what will be the expenditure, what will be the capital involved, what will be the outcome, what kind of jobs will be created. So these are the, you are just estimating the economic impact, measure the overall contribution to the economy at various levels. So in terms of this, we are overall, what will be the contribution to economy at various levels, from the primary level to secondary level to tertiary level. Is it going to make any difference at these levels? The economic output, the economic development, is it going to change at different levels? And also to justify the value of the project in economic terms. So how far it may be useful in other terms, but economically, is it a viable solution? Is it a, you can say, is it worthy to be done at this place? So this type of economic impact assessment is a very important activity, particularly in present day times where we know that most of the times our money goes waste when we are not able to reap the benefits that we have thought we would be getting because of these activity. So how do we measure the economic impacts? How do we know the economic development has taken place? So these are some of the variables like business output. What is the increase in the sales? For example, if it is a factory, if it is any industry, automobile industry, we have to see that has it led to increase in the sales? Is there more market available for this product outside? So this is one of the measure. Then what is the value added or gross regional product of that region? You can say that how it has added to the value of that region, how important that region has become because of this facility or because of this development project which we have laid down. So has the gross regional product increased in that region? Then wealth, that is including property values, has the value of the land in that region gone up because of this, you can say because of any industrial park, because of any other project that you have put in. So what is the state of affairs of the property or the land value in that region? Has the personal income, that is the people who have been residing in the nearby areas or those who are associated with this particular project, has there been increase in their wages, has there been increase in their standard of living, their income, and has it led to job creation in that region? So is it promoting more number of avenues for the people to work in? Is it creating more opportunities so that people can work in that enterprise setup? So these any of these parameters in from business output to value to wealth to personal income and jobs, we can use this to calculate that how economic impacts have been ascertained and how fruitful it has been to have this activity in this region in terms of the economic development. Then economic impacts are different from the valuation of individual user benefits, and they are broader than the social impacts. They affect government revenues. We were just discussing that they lead to fiscal impacts also because they affect the government revenues and taxation, and economic impacts also affect the employment and associated population expenditures, because if the people are well to do, if they are earning more, the spending capacity is more, their purchasing power is more. So automatically this is a vicious cycle, and in turn it leads to the economic growth of that region, and that is one of the important objective of doing any such type of plan or laying any such type of a project. So we were talking about direct, indirect and induced economic impact. We must understand what is the difference between these terms. For example, direct impacts are related to expenditures pertaining to the construction and operation of an industry. For example, when we have any industry, there are costs associated with the getting up of the raw materials, getting of the power, capital, labor. These are some of the impacts, and direct economic impacts means this is the cost which is incurred because of this project. For example, if we take the case of tourism, for example, so if there is any tourist place, any tourism activity going on, so what will be the direct impact? It is such that it is because it is brought in by the tourist. If there are more inflow of the tourist in this region, so because of which this is the direct impact on the economy occurring because of this tourist place which is bringing in lot many tourists than before. So this is the direct. Then indirect impacts relate to the suppliers of goods and hiring workers. For example, whenever there is any activity in the nearby regions, we find that there is a lot of scope of other work being done. Say for example, same case if we take the case of tourism, in the nearby areas, in the nearby regions of that tourist place, we find that lot many hotels come up, lot many eateries come up, lot many people are indulged in making some sort of handicraft or something. So these are some of the ancillary activities which go on, and these are the indirect impacts of that particular project which has laid down. And the third one is the induced effect. Induced effect are occurring because of the employees and the service. Whenever such type of activity is done, the people who are directly involved, the people who are working in that area, they get increase in their wages, their salaries increase, so their spending increases, their earnings are increasing. So because of that development activity, there is an induced effect on the economy of the people who are dependent on that particular project. So these are some of the examples, and these are some of the you can say common direct, indirect and induced economic impacts. And in any type of activity which is being done, it is very common to find that there are always direct, indirect, induced. And we have also studied about the fiscal impacts on a large scale, how government views this economic activity and how government plans to change the tax reforms and the revenues. These are also some of the important fiscal impacts which need and which have occurred because of several plans and policies in the past. So one of the important tool in this regard is cost benefit analysis, and it involves the identification, organizing information and monetary evaluation of anticipated economic and social cost and benefits of proposed public initiatives. This is one of the tool, because when we talk about impact assessment in terms of economy, it is very imperative to conduct the cost benefit analysis. We know that what cost we are putting in for this planned activity and what are the benefits in terms of economy we are proposing to get. However, cost benefit analysis has a limitation in that sense that it assigns every activity, it assigns the monetary value, which is not possible in many of the cases. Because the same example, if we talk about the tourism, it is not possible to calculate how the tourists are feeling and how refreshed they have become by coming at this place. We cannot convert it into the monetary terms. However, for this impact analysis and for this economic impact calculations, cost benefit analysis is generally used to calculate that what kind of feasibility of the project is there in the long run. So while concluding, this can be said that one of the important aspect of environmental impact assessment is economic impact assessment, which takes into account the economy of the region. Because whenever we plan any project, any policy or any program we are putting in, we have certain cost we have calculated which is already associated with it. But we always propose that whenever any type of activity is taking place, there will be some kind of the output in terms of economic gains, and that is the motto of economic development. And one of the main considerations is, in the past we have seen that we want development. People who are living in the villages, people who are living in the rural areas, they always feel that the region is not developed. So one of the important criteria of development we have always put is that if any industry comes, if railway line comes, if any dam is built, we said that these are the signs of development which has taken place. So we can say that it leads to economic development of the region and of the people as a whole. But however, a proper exercise in terms of economic impact assessment must be rigorously carried out to know that what are the economic condition of the people in that region at present and how far this activity will be successful in generating more income in that region, so that people will be prosperous, people will be living of well, and altogether there will be economic development in the region. Thank you.